Hello, I'm Matthew Drett, and I will be showing you how to begin your single player mapping process. So first thing you're going to need is you're going to need a map. So I'm using a custom BSP, you can use whatever. Create a new scenario, move all your things over to it. And in Gorilla, you'll get something like this. You have your sky, type, you want solo of course, since it's single player. Then you'll have all this crap, vehicles, scenery, blah blah blah. If you're using a multiplayer map, you can delete most of that. And then there's all this stuff here, which we can get to later. But solo right now is the most important thing I need in Gorilla. You can say that I currently have my scenario in takedown /BSP/landing/landing. It's a test BSP I'm working with. So I'm going to go to that in my data folder. Make sure you're in their data folder. If you're not in your data folder, get to a data folder. Then in your data folder, you want the same destination. So takedown BSP, landing. Takedown BSP, landing. That's landing.scenario. And then in the data folder, in this exact same area, I'm going to create a folder called scripts. Boom. Brand new folder called scripts. It's empty. This is where you're going to put all your scripts that we will be working with shortly. They're a ton of fun, so let's just get that out of the way. Open up Notepad. This is your scripts Notepad thing. So whatever. We're going to save this in our scripts folder that we just made. So let me go find that. Landing scripts. And then it doesn't really matter what you call it, scripts. Now you want to save it as an HSC. So click all files, and then at the end put .hsc, save. And then there we go, we have our scripts. And now that we have pretty much everything to start us off, we're going to open this in the Shapian, takedown BSP, landing, and landing.scenario. Well, as you see, this BSP is kind of bare. It's a big work in progress, but whatever. Now, to actually get the player to spawn, you need to create a player spawning point. So this is where you're going to start off at. Just place it, boom. Type 0, type 1, type 2, type 3. These should all be set to none. So just none. You don't want any game type. It's just none. Facing, then you can spin it, whatever. Doesn't matter. Whoop. And I'll spawn them here in the dirt. Now save this, and there we go. We essentially have our single player map created. We can compile this now, and it'll load as a single player map. But let's test our scripts, make sure our scripts are working. So let's just do test. And now we're going to save this. File, save. Now we're going to go to File and Compile. Now we got a scripting error, which is good because test is not a script, which means that Sapien is actually reading our scripts. And it's like, whoa, this isn't a script. So let's start with a basic script. Script startup. Startup script will essentially start up with the map. So once you load up the map, this will immediately happen. So script startup, and then whatever you want to name it. So let's name it 1. And then you can start applying scripts here. We're going to do a fade in from black, which is 0, 0, 0, and then our length, which is, I don't know, 200 ticks. In Halo, 30 ticks is essentially 30 frames per second. So as long as there's no lag, 30 ticks is 30 frames per second. So, and then this is all enclosed. So make sure that you don't leave anything open. If you do leave anything open, it will tell you. Now let's go to File, Compile, and script successfully compiled. Boom. We now have a fade in. We're going to work with a couple other things here. So let's also do another script startup. But we're going to do we're going to have it to where the game will wait until the player enters a certain area. So we're going to go to game data. We're going to trigger volumes. Yeah. Gonna zoom over to here, around this corner right here. And we're gonna right click, place a trigger volume. Boom. Let's expand this. It doesn't have to be in your BSP. So if you're getting an error over here, just ignore it. And open it. So no matter what, the player has to go through this. We're going to name this trigger. So essentially, we're going to write a script. It's going to be sleep until. You can look up all these scripts. You don't have to memorize them. I don't memorize a lot of scripts. And volume test objects. It's going to be trigger volume name, trigger, and then player, and then enclose it, and then 15 ticks, and close it. I think that should be right. But there is something I need to look up, which is player. Halo doesn't automatically detect the player, essentially, in the scripts. It doesn't define the player as a unit. So you need to actually define the player as a unit, and I don't have that script memorized, so I'm actually going to go look it up. I take a lot of my scripts from previous scripts I've written. So once you get a good map going, you can always just go back and copy and paste a lot. So I'm just going to copy and paste this script static here, which just essentially defines the player as a unit. So now we can mess around with the player. I'm going to save, compile. Let's see what I got wrong. Ooh, I got nothing wrong there. Sweet. And so let's say we're going to game save. We're going to save the game. We're going to create a checkpoint when the player walks through there. We're also going to wake another script. It's going to wake a script 3. And now I'm going to create a script dormant called 3. So for some reason, Halo only reads dormants above it. So say if you have wake 3, if the script dormant was under the wake 3, Halo wouldn't be able to, the game would just be like, what? There is no wake 3. If you're trying to wake a script, it has to be above it. So our dormant here will be AI place. We're going to place AI once the script is woken. So let's name this Cub. AI place Cub. So by looking at our scripts, we have script startup 1 fades in. Script startup 2 sleeps until the player enters trigger volume. It saves and then it wakes script number 3. Script number 3 then places the encounter covenant. So let's create a new encounter. Let's call it Cub. Check not initially created. And then we're going to set our teams to covenant. You can do teams a bunch of other ways, but I think that's the most simple. And then firing positions. What are firing positions? Firing positions are positions that the AI will take the fire at. And let's create a squad here. If you look at we have attacking surge, attacking guard, defending, all these. This is where the letters come in for the firing positions. So let's say we're going to place a bunch of A's here. Let's make our A's attacking. So we're going to have a bunch of attacking positions up here. Now we're going to switch to B. Switch to B. There we go. And we're going to place our B's in the back. The B's will be defending. Obviously, you might want to think a bit harder about placement, but for the most part, you do need these. Don't not make these. You really do need firing positions, or else your AI is kind of stand around and do nothing. So I don't have any actual AI in here yet, so we're going to go to Edit Types, and then we're going to go to Actor Variant. Click Add. Then go to Tags, Characters, Elite, Elite Major, Elite Needler. Let's click Add. Oh, done. Okay. Now we're going to go to Actor Type, click Elite. Initial State, let's just have him moving around randomly. And then that's pre-combat, post-combat, return state. We're going to have him guard at guarding position. This essentially means he's going to guard at the firing positions. So we had our attacks at A and our defending at B, but we'll let them attack at AB. So they can attack at firing positions A and B, but they'll only defend at B. That's how firing positions essentially work. Normal difficulty count, we're going to take it 2. But if we're on Legendary or Insane, we're going to have 4. How many should be Major or Minor Elites? This actually is in the Gorilla Actor Variant, so I'll show you right here. Characters. Elite. Major. I should click Minor. Say if we selected a Minor, Elite Minor, we have right here a Major variant. And now you can actually select, if you use the AI Actor Variant, Elite Minor, you can click Major Upgrade. You can set it to None. You will only get Elite Minors. But since we do have a Major variant attached to the Minor, if we decide to, say, make them all, now they're all going to be the Elite Major Actor Variant. See, as we click this goes to our Elite Major Plasma Rifler. Or you can mix it up. Many, few, normal. And that's pretty good for a start. Oh yeah, one more thing. You need starting positions for your encounter. So go to your squad, click starting positions. You can select a few starting positions. There's a total of 4 that can spawn, so we'll place 4 starting positions, 2 in front, 2 in back. But since if we play a normal, only 2 will spawn. Another thing for moving around, you can select moving positions as well. So they'll move between these points here. Move this stuff. Boom. Make another one right there. So since we have them as moving randomly, they'll move randomly around these positions. Save your map and then compile, and that should all work. Now that we're in game, we can go to map name landing, which was my scenario. Boom, open it up. We should get our fade in. There's our fade in. Alright, right around this corner right here, we have our trigger volume, which will save the game and load script number 3. Script number 3 will then place the randomly moving elites. And they spotted me already. But as you can see, they are moving around quite a bit as they are in the attacking position. Yeah. And obviously we can expand from there, but that's a start. So yeah. Good luck starting off your single player creations.